Once Smithfield Foods relocates, it'll leave behind around 120 acres that'll be used to expand downtown Sioux Falls.
4 months after the move was announced, a committee of 13 people was tasked with deciding the next steps for the redevelopment of the current Smithfield site, which will be known as the Sanford District.
In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Jordan DeSmit tells us how that group plans to tackle a once-in-a-generation project.
In February, Smithfield announced plans to move from downtown Sioux Falls to Foundation Park on the northwestern edge of the city. Bob Munt, the president and CEO of the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, says a lot had to be done before that news could be made official.
We've been working with them for actually a couple of years on possibilities of making that happen.
T. Denny Sanford donated $50 million toward the project. That money will be used by the Development Foundation to purchase the existing Smithfield site. About 1 month after the initial announcement, the Sioux Falls City Council approved a conditional use permit and a nearly $90 million tax increment finance district for Smithfield's future site. However, residents from nearby Crooks filed a lawsuit against the City Council challenging the conditional use permit. That case is still ongoing.
Got some pushback from people in Crooks and nearby homeowners.
Yeah.
Was that something you anticipated when the deal went through?
Yeah, we did. Again, anytime you put a big company out in a foundation park like that, but it was all zoned correctly, and so we were very confident.
But despite the opposition, figuring out what will go in Smithfield's place presses on. Last week, the Falls Area Development Corporation, a nonprofit under the Development Foundation, established the Sanford District Advisory Task Force to decide what comes next for the project. Scott Stern is the chair. He was the commissioner of the Office of Economic Development under then South Dakota Governor Dennis Dugard.
It's truly made up of a bunch of really outstanding individuals that represent a large constituency within the city. Naturally, there's people within the Falls Development Corporation and the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, as well as city, legislative, and then a bunch of community leaders.
Stern says the task force will research similar projects that have been completed around the country.
One of the first objectives is to reach out to those communities and engage with them and learn what they did, learn what they did right, learn what they did wrong on some of these larger redevelopments.
According to Munt, the master planning process could take as long as 2 years, and acquiring and cleaning the property might not happen until sometime between 2029 and 2032. But both he and Stern say in the meantime, they'll prioritize transparency.
We want input from the public. We've got a website right now where you can go to and kind of put your ideas in there, and we'll take all those ideas and kind of distill them down into what we think we can do and what's feasible and what might not be feasible, but we'll give everything a look.
I'm sure there's a lot of ideas, but we're casting a very wide net. There's no preconceived vision for what should be going down there, because we want all ideas to be vetted and we're receptive to those for that matter.
And until plans become more concrete, they're asking people to be patient.
This is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a long process.
We don't want to go too fast, because I think it's important that we are very deliberate. I mean, we take our time and don't miss an opportunity or don't miss something in this whole process. We get one chance to get this right.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Jordan DeSmit.